And we are live, and welcome to Teaching Tip Tuesday. So my name is Michelle, and what I do here on Teaching Tip Tuesday is I help you to close math learning gaps by providing you with evidence-based and research-based math strategies that can be implemented in your classroom as early as the next day. And I want to thank you all for showing up with me, because it is getting hard to as the school year winds down, it's getting more difficult. But if you're spending your time, whether it be on the replay or live, thank you for being a part of my community. So if you cannot catch me live on Teaching Tip Tuesday, whether it be on YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook, that's where I am actually live streaming at. You can always get all of my Teaching Tip Tuesday videos, because after I live stream them, they become videos on YouTube. So if you are on YouTube, definitely hop on over, do a search for The Ignited Teacher. I'm the only one at the moment on YouTube, and I just go ahead and give this live stream a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the bell notification button so that you'll be notified when I upload videos or go live like I'm doing right now. So if you're already on the internet, just hop on over there and give this stream a thumbs up. And if you feel like it, feel like chatting, leave a comment in the comment section. So every month I have a theme for my Teaching Tip Tuesdays, and this month is no different. So, oops, I am going backwards on my thing. So this is no different. Last month we talked about addressing misconceptions. Oh, I'm losing my train of thought. So this was last week's lesson. So each month I have a list of topics. So the March topics was test prep. And then when we move into April, I kind of move along with the school year. So these are timely, relevant topics that you can get here on my Teaching Tip Tuesday. It's things that I'm doing in my classroom, things, maybe some research or books that I've read, I'll share with you, and how I'm implementing in my classroom. One of the good things, next year, my school district is moving to Canvas. Yes, they're moving to Canvas. I cannot wait. We had this monstrosity that I refused to use. It was horrible. So we're moving to Canvas next year. So as I transition to Canvas, I cannot wait. So if you are a Canvas user, definitely share some of your pros and cons with Canvas, because I plan on getting my stuff into Canvas next year. We're moving to digital for testing. So most of my lessons will be 75-25 paper-based. And not only are we moving to digital for test prep next year, we're going to open-ended questions. Fun. So have to teach kids to how to type. So I know some of you all who are Common Core states, I think you all do open response questions or constructed response questions. Anyway, so that will be Great. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in to my topic tonight, which is taking the stress out of test prep. Now, I've been in a test prep subject, oh my God, I want to say since 2003. Yeah, 2003. I have been into saying it's 2022. So yeah, I've always been in a test prep grade level. Only I can't even remember. It may have been a couple of years that I was not. I started out in first grade, probably the first 3 years of my career, maybe 4 years. I was not in a test prep grade level. I've always taught, for the foreseeable future and the past, I've always taught a test prep grade level, which is interesting. So let me look up here. I'm going to bring in one of my blog posts because I talk about stress and test taking tips. Now, test prep, the way that you feel about it is going to come out on your children. I don't care what grade level you teach, how you feel about test prep and how you prep your kids, it's going to come through. So one of the things that I've started, and I started this a long time ago, is really making kids feel confident. I know when I was first starting out, there were third graders that would have stomach aches, and there would even be children that would throw up on the test, which is ridiculous. And it just prompted me to really make my kids feel like, yeah, you got the best math teacher on the planet. So I would always tell my students that they had the best math teacher on the planet. So you don't have anything to worry about because I'm going to teach you everything that I know. And it would calm down a lot of my students. So in this blog post, I talk about how to actually teach during test prep. And there are a couple of tips that I give you to actually help you with getting through the test prep season. And for new teachers and teachers that are new to content areas where there's test prep, I'm sorry, but welcome to our world. And here's some tips for you to help you get through your test prep season. So the first one is your mindset. You really need to get in a mindset of let the chips fall where they may, because you can't take the test for the children. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like I said, I think on Instagram, one of the reels that I made, Rome wasn't built in a day and gaps are not closed in a day. In a year. And if you are teaching children that are below grade level, give them what you can. All you can give them is what you can give them. You didn't create the gaps, but the goal is to grow them from where they began in your classroom. And that should be your mindset. When you have kids, some kids are going to grow and we cheer those growth points on, and some kids are going to master. And those are the two groups of kids that you have, but you're a cheerleader for both. And you understand that all kids don't start at the same starting point. But at the end of the day, they are where they are. The next one is you have to have a test prep plan. That was my new mindset. So yesterday was my first day back from spring break. I can't talk. From spring break. And, it was, I told the kids, we're going into test prep. The kids were like, oh. But I said, I'm not going to beat you over the head with test prep. So what I did is, this was my test prep plan. I watched CNN 10. This was with my fifth graders. Test prep, Kahoot, Flipgrid, or Plickers. Mini lesson, basic. I taught it from basic to abstract, ending with test prep. New or review skill with blended learning, and some project-based learning. I did not beat my kids over the head with test prep. So if you think that your children are going to do better because you give them more testing practice, it's not going to work. I'm going to tell you, because really testing is not about really what you know. It's really about how well you can think. So if you're practicing with your students thinking and they can retrieve information when they need to, like I was talking to one of my colleagues today, and we were talking about how kids that struggle, everything is just in their mind jumbled up. There's no being able to compartmentalize different things. And that's what I was telling her. I was like, I use a lot of thinking strategies, such as predicting with evidence, to get my students to be able to synthesize and comprehend information and analyze it. Those are skills that we need for mathematics. And if the kids don't have it, they struggle. And then you have the kids that are there and cannot retrieve information like they need to, because higher level kids don't do that. They know when to use and when to not use things. And that's your difference between higher level kids and kids that struggle. So have a test prep plan that does not include a whole bunch of testing. You're going to burn yourself out and you're going to burn your children out. So that in that blog post, I pretty much gave you what I needed for my students to keep my sanity and to help them keep theirs. Because at the end of the day, it's a test and the chips are going to fall where they may. And let me close my door because that's my dog. I knew he was going to start barking. I should just shut the door. I don't know why he's like that. But anyway, you need to have that test prep plan in place. So if you change your mindset, and if you are a teacher that is new to testing, don't overdo it, because I'm telling you, I have been there before. Take it from me. Some advice. You have to have a mindset that, at the end of the day, you gave 110%. And don't let anybody tell you that you didn't give it your all. So that's really what you want to focus on. Now, with implementing a test prep plan, a lot of times teachers focus on problem solving. So with the problem solving, I have let me pull this down. I have a blog post for Read, Draw, Write. And I also have a free template for Read, Draw, Write on my website, fuelgreatminds.com. And it helps with breaking down those skills. I also sell the whole problem solving process for $15. I have my anchor charts and everything in there. And I add to it as I, improve the Read, Draw, Write model. It's a model for struggling readers. So if you have struggling readers, I'll leave it in the comment section so that you all can check it out. But problem solving is something that has to be taught. And because we've seen our reading strategy, our literacy decline, it takes a lot more to teach math and other subjects. It is not for the reading teacher to be the savior for everybody, because you have to do your part. You have to. And I'm not saying be the reading teacher, but I am saying talk to your reading teachers and say, how do you get your kids to understand certain things? I used to teach reading, so it's a little different for me, but you definitely need to work with those teachers. Also, to take the stress out of it, if kids are still at the conceptual level, take some time to use concepts. If the kids are still struggling with fractions, go from conceptual to abstract. You'll hit all of your learners in there. Don't beat yourself up because kids are not at the same place in the learning progression. If it's fractions, decimals, whatever the case may be, they are not at the same place. And in your test prep plan, because you know that your students are not in the same place, differentiate your test prep plan. When you go into test prep mode, give the kids that work with models, give them a group that they can work with models, and the kids that use algorithms. And what you do is have the kids explain their thinking. Those are some ways that you can take the monotony out of test prep. So I'm going to go ahead and recap because we're winding down. The first thing is to change your mindset. That's the first plan. All of your kids are not going to pass. They're not. Now, if you're teaching higher level kids, they generally are going to pass, but then you're going to have some that may not achieve where they are. But be okay with where the chips fall, where they may, and be okay with that. Have a plan. Don't beat your kids all over the head with test prep all at one time. Take the stress out of it. Do some things. Put some test prep items in there and do other things. That's what I'm telling you. Even if it's a review skill. I used to play tic-tac. When I taught fifth grade science, I used to call it tic-tac-no. So I would put X's and O's, and I would split the class and put kids on one side, the X's on one side and the O's on the other. And I would put two desks in the middle, and they would have to come to the front. And whoever answered the question the quickest, they got to put their X or O up there. And those are fun things because it takes the stress out of it. And with math, if you have a list of problems from a certain unit, and you can still do it. Have the kids, give them some time to answer it, and then have the kids come up. Make it fun. It takes the jitters out of it. Instead of having the kids sit there just working problem after problem. And the last point is use some literacy strategies. Support your struggling readers and your English language learners. It helps. It takes the stress out of it. If you don't know what you need to know about literacy strategies, visit your ELA classroom. I'm sure someone in your building that teaches ELA will be more than happy to help you with those literacy strategies. But if you need more help or help with interventions or supporting your struggling readers, I cannot talk tonight. You can always get on the wait list at the Math Intervention Academy at the mathinterventionacademy.com, and I'll put the link in the comments section. But that is all I have for Teaching Tip Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in. If you're on the replay, thank you for watching my video. If you have any comments, if you like what you heard, tweet to me, leave me a comment in the comment section, and I'll get back with you. And I'll see you all next time or next week on the video in my Facebook group or on Teaching Tip Tuesday. Bye-bye.